were waiting on an Atlanta lawyer to turn himself in on charges that he shot and killed his wife.
Tex McIver says a gun accidentally went off and he killed his wife Diane as the couple and a friend drove near Atlanta's Piedmont Park back in September. But now he's facing charges of involuntary manslaughter and reckless conduct. Fox 5's Morris Diggs has followed this story since the beginning. He joins us now live. Morris, what led to these charges?
Well, I need to first say APD is not talking, but looking at the background and assessing the language in the warrant, evidently investigators could not find any intent for what happened, so they seemingly settled for the charge of involuntary manslaughter. Atlanta police intend to hold Claud Tex McIver criminally responsible for his wife's death. In his own words, McIver, a lawyer, said it's unimaginable that what he calls an accidental shooting of Diane could be viewed by some as a crime.
The perfect wife. You know, never had a crossword, never had a fight, thought alike, moved alike, anticipated alike. And we were together, other than going to work or running errands, we were together always. I mean, we just drew energy off each other's presence.
You likely have heard the story. Diane McIver and a friend named Danny Joe were in the front seat of the McIver SUV. The husband was in the rear. While returning from out of town, they pulled off the interstate and drove downtown streets heading up to Buckhead. McIver told authorities he saw several people hanging out on the street and requested his firearm from a center console. At some point, he falls back asleep. His gun discharges. A single bullet goes through the front passenger seat, killing Diane. If you mishandle a gun, that gun fires and kills another person. Is that the act?
If the state can prove that your handling that weapon was careless or reckless, that is correct.
I asked a local attorney and a former judge about a pair of warrants that include the description of McIver pulling the trigger. Can that explanation of using the term accident still be consistent with a criminal charge?
Absolutely. What people have to understand is that in any criminal offense, accidents can occur. So if the jury believed that as a result of him handling this weapon, that it discharged accidentally, accident is an affirmative defense in Georgia. So if the jury believed that he did not handle this weapon in a reckless manner, but it was simply an accident, he would be acquitted and found not guilty.
So now, what does the family friend, the third person in the car, what's her reaction? Well, an attorney says she's not surprised that APD filed the charge, meaning that she figured something would happen, but Danny Joe, that's her name, she's a family friend of both of them and said she cannot imagine that Tex McIver intentionally shot his wife. Now, we're waiting here at the Fulton County Jail to see if he will turn himself in this evening. APD extended the courtesy to his lawyer to voluntarily come in. However, that courtesy does have a time clock before they go out and pick him up. Reporting live from the Fulton County Jail, I'm Morris Diggs, Fox 5 News.
All right, thank you, Morris. New at 5.